Doon 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 doon. Let's go, yo, dude. I've missed this so much, man. Y'all have no idea, dude. Yeah, dude, man. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, a lot of things to talk about, but I want y'all to see this, bro. Before I turn the camera on, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a new era. I have discovered the piece that Vegapunk is looking for, ladies and gentlemen. I have discovered lighting in the room. Look at your boy! We have some better lighting. Look at this. Yes, sir. You want it over here? Or do I put it back here? Or maybe I'll just put it right here. Yes, sir. We got lighting up in this thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put it right here because I have a stand, but we couldn't get it up in time. But ladies and gentlemen, we got some good lighting up in here finally. Finally, at a nighttime stream, we have some good lighting, and that is all thanks to the support shown to this channel, because everything that was given to the channel was reinvested back out. And so I'm currently trying to figure out what's next, obviously, for improvements and attempting to figure out what to do next. But for right now, we got some better lighting up in here, ladies and gentlemen, and that makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, man, because one of the things that frustrated me about the nighttime streams is that it would always look really dark. And I was like, no, I gotta fix that. So while I was gone, we have invested, got some new lighting. The One Piece withdrawals were hitting so hard that I ended up rereading every single chapter that came out this year. I started from 1036 and ended off in the chapter before the one we're about to read. Started during the Thanksgiving break, finished just a couple days ago, and dog, it's so peak, bro. Like when I finished specifically chapter 1060, I didn't even finish it, or like I finished it, but before I finished it, and I got to that's what I want to have at the end of my dream panel from the GOAT. It was one of those moments where like it hit different. Like it hit me extremely, extremely hard. Like I had to get up and I was just like, hold up, bro. This is it, man. Like this is it, son. And it's one of those situations where it hits you. And you gotta hit like a Kenshiro manly tear of like, dang, bro, like this is the end, man. Like, I just remember having the biggest goosebumps, and I love rereading my favorites for that reason, because it's always great whenever it excels even what your memory has in store for you, or like what you remember based on like the experience at hand and whatnot. And I've already reread these chapters to do like the afterthoughts and stuff, but to read them all back to back to back like this was the first time. And it was just a really special experience. And so I look forward to, now that we're in the month of December, of course, we're going to be doing the episode of the year streams, the chapter of the year streams, my own personal list. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a go to December. Before we get into the introduction and the chapter itself, let me go ahead and read off the memberships, ladies and gentlemen, because my people, as a matter of fact, hold on, is my audio even on? Is the audio good? Is the audio, if the audio is good, then we'll be good to go. Please let me know if the audio is good to go. Let me pull these up right here. It's always a good time. December is always a good time, man. All good. I appreciate y'all. Mofos, my boy. I appreciate you, man. Subra, I know, Subra. That's on me. That's on me. That's on nobody else but me. On missing the afterthoughts. Trust me, I'm gonna more than make up for that. Yeah, I wanted to talk about chapter 1067 as much as anyone else. Trust me, man. So let me go ahead and pull up the memberships, ladies and gentlemen. Heading into the month of November, are read as follows: Michael Mickles, Recon, Oh My Giono, Bar M, Milo D Cake, UJ, Batu Balu, Iron SOTG, Jarusaurus, Hey Shiz, J. Milleret, Rohan C., Arend van der Bleek, Holosama, Tay, Ze, Joaquin, Fang Milleret, Sticky Nut Juice, King Benny Boy, Presnotix, Henny Kimura, Darren Chua, CJ Battles, Main D Moon, Johnny B. Good, shout out to Johnny B. Bad, Roarim, Shinrazi, Arari, I apologize, I always mess this one up. Super Alatreon, right? Super Alatreon. If I said it wrong, I apologize. Super Alatreon 1, the Ashen Samurai Jiro, Namer, Zen, Andres Gonzalez, Jesus Vermillion, and Subra. My people, thank you so much for the memberships heading into the month of November, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a stacked month. We are celebrating the final month of the year in the biggest way possible. Now, on my end, dealing with finals, watching the World Cup, shout out to Japan, shout out to Japón, alright, for going up in like swimmer against the Espada today. Crazy stuff, alright, it's been an amazing World Cup so far. That's been my main source of entertainment for the past 2 weeks is how insane it's been. Just overall in regards to you guys know how finals is, man. It's always a hectic time, and so it's been a lot of fun though. It's been a lot of fun. Very grateful for the opportunities that have been presented before me, and I'm super excited for what's going to be happening after this. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to return back to Egghead Island, where I just finished my reread of this magnificent stretch of chapters going from the end of chapter 1060 until today's chapter. And ladies and gentlemen, this arc is some gas. This arc is premium, unadulterated 93 gas. Alright? I'm loving every second of it, bro. I don't care how long this arc ends up being. This is some heat, and it's heat that's universal. It's heat that doesn't matter what walk of life you're going, that you came from, that you're going into, whatever it is, we can come to appreciate that Dr. Einstein Futurama greatness. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, son? We are in the middle of an incredible transitional arc, taking us into the final saga centered around not only Dr. Vega D. Punk, not only the Void Century, not only Robert D. Lucci, not only Nico Robbins, Jaguar D. Saul. No. In the midst of all of this, the cliffhanger from the most recent chapter lets us know that your boy, tattooed up, Pops himself, long hair, don't care, wearing the cloak, it don't matter. Monkey D. Goat Man Dragon. I don't know if he's coming, but if he is, yo, it's the arc. It's the time, baby. We're in the final saga, and because of that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to read chapter 1068 in the latest installment of the best-selling manga in history. All that, yo. Son, after not recording a One Piece video for like 2 weeks, y'all have no idea how good that felt. You have no idea how good it feels to talk about this series that has Clark Kent shaking in his boots. Oh, I saw the sales. Y'all ain't gotta tell me. Oh, I saw them things this week. We are doubled what we did last year. And they were telling me One Piece is falling off. Where's the fall off? Increased sales, what was like 60% from 2021 to 2022? That's all I know. All I know is that Wano ended this year, and the volume sales, like, they just kept going up. Like they were Jeff Hardy going, it's Jeff Hardy. He's going up the top rope. Yes, sir. We ain't going down. We only know the way up. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to read some flipping what? I'm ready, dude. Oh, that hurt my peg. Give me a second. Give me a second. Ooh, that hurt my peg leg. Hold on. Alright. I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. So, lighting's good. Oh, bro, I can't believe I have good lighting at nighttime. God is good. Yo, I found the Vega source light, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. The source that Vegapunk is looking for. But yo, let's get right into it. Dude, y'all have no idea. Like I said, I was already having withdrawals for this series. The fact that I had not experienced anything and I didn't record videos. Like, it's one thing when I don't, but when I don't record videos on it either, because, bro, that Thanksgiving week was so insane, man, that I was like, you know what, I can't take it anymore. I had to reread the art. I had to reread from 1036 until where we are right now, and I rewatched some episodes, getting ready for the episode of the year stuff too. So, dude, my Tard levels are normally here. They're like all the way up here, son. This chapter is going to be a 10 out of 10. I don't care what it is. I don't care. Bro, going through the withdrawals that I'm going through right now, son, this is about to be a 50 out of 10. Oh, man, hold on. Let's get right into it. Chapter 1068, A Genius's Dream. Vegapunk Dream Time? Vegapunk Dream Time? A Genius's Dream. Are we talking about Oda? Are we talking about Oda? Is Oda about to reveal his dream right here and now? And here we have Caesar and Judge Vinsmoke still throwing hands while they're both thinking about Vegapunk here in the cover story. We see two silhouettes, you know. Two silhouettes, and then the tongue, obviously, that's representing Vegapunk 110%. But there's two silhouettes in the background. That's very fascinating. So, two former members of MADS reunited. So here, pretty much giving us the confirmation on exactly who is all involved in the MADS, you know, stuff we were speculating on for a long time, but that's an interesting confirmation. Oda's been confirming quite a few things on cover stories lately, and I'm really liking it. And I'm hoping, like I said, that anime-onlys get an opportunity to see some of this stuff too, man. I know that's something that we've been talking about for years, that we would love for the anime to cover some of the cover story stuff, but regardless, I'm a manga reader, so I don't care. Notes: I met Takahashi Rumiko Sensei for the first time recently. She's so young for a living legend. Takahashi Rumiko, is that that name sounds so familiar. Is that Ranma One Half in Inuyasha? I'm not even sure, honestly. That sounds accurate to me, but I'll check after this. But regardless, Oda out here meeting another Yonko. We love to see it. We love to see it. So here we go. A new One Piece done. Dog, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, when you go through One Piece withdrawals, man, woo! So here we see Punk 04, Pythagoras. We appreciate Sacropol going to the effort of returning the Seraphim, but S-Bear can make its own way from there. S-Bear? Is that the name for Kuma? They're calling Kuma S-Bear? That's kind of disrespectful, yeah? We appreciate Cypherpole going to the effort of returning the Seraphim, but S-Bear can make its own way from there? I don't know, man. S-Bear? I'm going to assume that means Seraphim Bear? I regrettably won't be able to greet you in person, but it's been so busy lately. So is 072, of course, we're looking down here. This is where we saw Lucci and them last time. Please just order it to return to the island. You can consider your mission complete. Thanks again for all the hard work. How will CP0 respond? That's what I'm wondering. Hattori in a chapter, man. We just love to see it. It's Hattori in a chapter. That's not exactly a warm welcome. And so here we have Lucci, Hattori, Kaku, which Kaku's mask looks straight up like something from the Void Century, man. Just look at that thing. It's like something from the Void Century, and then it has like the bottom half of Basil Hawkins' stand. You know, and then here we have S-Bear. And I can't believe we're calling Seraphim Kuma S-Bear. So he has his suspicions. It's been a long journey. Can't we at least pop in for some tea? It's so chilly out here. G14 is not too far. They're sure to give you a great reception. So G14, obviously, that's going to allow the opportunity for what we've been talking about since this arc started with like Groose and Toshigi to have a potential meeting with Lucci and them, which is something that I really want to see. I would like to see. Is this thing tripping? No, I think we're good. But no, like on a serious note, one of the things I've been looking forward to the most in this entire arc, if we were to get to that point, would be if Smoker's here, if we see the Groose and Toshigi, and somehow those two things become intertwined. Because I was like, why are we going to show that and not have that have some correlation into what's happening within Egghead Island, right? So from the very beginning, all of us together were like, yo, how cool would it be if Lucci, continuing to question the WG superiors after the Lucia incident, meets with members of either Sword or someone on the other side of that justice, and they were to have that conflict. And so, if that's what they're referring to here, Dr. Vegapunk, I presume? Yes, do you have any comment on all the recent disappearances at Egghead? Disappearances? What do you mean? 2 months ago, a CP5 vessel went missing. CP5? A month later, one of CP7's? CR7? One of the Ronaldos? They're making Ronaldo's, Seraphim Ronaldos, man. That actually makes sense. That makes sense as to how he's maintained prolonged success. They just have Seraphim Ronaldos cooking in Vegapunk's kitchen. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some Seraphim Messis too. And just 2 weeks back, it was a CP8 ship. CP8. Why hasn't a single government ship made it back? After visiting you in the last 2 months. Is that really true? I can assure you we all remember seeing those ships depart safely. So, I want to read this comment one more time. So, do you have any comment on all the recent disappearances at Egghead? What do you mean? 2 months ago, a CP5 vessel goes missing. Then a CP7, and then a CP8. So, this looks to be what it led the WG to be like, yo, go investigate and take this man out, because something's happening here. So, then we switch over to the squad. Why hasn't a single world government ship made it back? After visiting you in the last 2 months in particular. 2 months. What? Is that really true? I can assure you we all remember seeing those ships depart safely. So, either Vegapunk himself has something to do with this and it's being hidden from CP0, or there's something in between Egghead Island and the next part that they are unaware of, right? So here's Lilith, obviously, the evil. Just where are you getting at? Out with it already. You think we sunk those ships, don't ya? Lilith, don't antagonize them. We've got half a mind to let you dock so you can see for yourself. That's even worse! Regardless, we can't let you in. Please turn back. Dude, it just feels great to have Lucci in a chapter, man. Serious. Very well, understood. Got check. Cuckoo! Yo, Hattori's that? What now, Lucci? Prepare to abandon ship. Flying flag nerds? Will infiltrate using S-Bear's ability. Are they implying that he's going to teleport them? A direct assault would always end in those sea beasts making a meal of the ship anyway. Understood. What now, Lucci? Prepare to abandon ship. So they're prepared to just let this thing stay. Like, screw the ship. It's going to get destroyed. Who cares? But they're going to infiltrate using the S-Bear's ability. So if they believe that all of them are going to be able to get out of there safely, then does Kuma have the same ability? Grand line. Bro, if we already get a dragon sighting, dog, come on, bro. We already... Dude, bro, I feel like Dragon has just as many panels as, like, Frankie. Bro! This man Dragon's a full-timer. Kuma, stop. Wait there. That's definitely Ivankov. Kuma-san, where are you going? So Kuma's going, he's running, he's taking off all these tubes off him. Psh. He left by himself. And there's Dragon. Oh, man. He left by himself? Dang it. Dude, I wanted to see a poof Dragon, too, man. Couldn't he just have turned around, son? Couldn't he have just, yo? Couldn't Dragon have just, or couldn't have Kuma just turned around and be like, just smack, bro, you didn't gotta smack him in the face. Just give him a high five. Be my dog. And it just went that. Dragon's boom. Oh, so this is how we're gonna do it. See, I was wondering, right, like, how are we not gonna see Dragon? Because that obviously that is the key, right? At this point, it looks like we're trying to hold out on not seeing Dragon meet up with Luffy yet. And so now I'm going to assume they're going to attempt to get to Egghead Island, like we were talking about last week, or the week before, and they're going to be too late, right? And so, but now the question remains is how long is it going to take Kuma to teleport there? Because there is a delay. So utilizing this ability, Kuma teleports by himself, Dragon yells out Kuma, Junkyard Egghead. So we immediately go back to Egghead. So we go there for a page, to the Gamabaka Kingdom. We see Kuma ripping off the tubes, and he poofs himself over to Egghead Island. Kuma, Junkyard Egghead, you want to leave with us, old timer? How come, my boy, the goat with the goat? How come isn't this your lab? It is. Oh, so now we're gonna get the answer as to Vegapunk, the reason why he wants to leave. Oh, that's why the chapter is titled Genius's Dream. It is, and up until now, I've been very happy to spend every berry the government has given to fund my research. So here we see Vegapunk. It's still crazy to me that we see Vegapunk in these chapters. New ideas continue to pour out of me, of course. Unfortunately, I'm still limited by time, money, and manpower. So those three things, a thing that we all wish we had an unlimited supply of, right? And specifically in his case, time, money, and manpower. Like, if I had that, I'd be good. That's what Vegapunk's saying. I persevere because I wish to change the world with my science. I want to make a world where free energy is available to all, and that is his dream. It looks like, so let me go back up here. I persevere because I wish to change the world with my science. And then we look down. I want to make a world where free energy is available to all. Fascinating stuff. So I'm going to assume that due to him having this dream, if he were to join the crew, hypothetically speaking, his end game crew moment would be finding the Allspark, right? Like finding the source, finding the light that is currently lighting up my room. Finding that material would be like his end goal. And I'm not saying Vegapunk's going to join the crew, but him establishing this dream, Oda establishing this dream in this chapter, if Vegapunk were to join his end goal, right? Like everybody has their end goal within the crew. His would be to find the Allspark, right? Once he finds the Allspark, the light source, whatever in the Flying Flagnards it is, then that would probably help to bring this free energy to everyone. But I wonder where this idea came from, right? Like, why? I mean, obviously learned it from the books, right? And they probably had it in the past. But where free energy is available to all, that is an amazing dream. That is an amazing dream. And so Luffy's like, Flying Flagnards? He was putting his finger up his nostril. Basically, you want to give stuff away to everyone? Nations often wage war. Or you clearly aren't following. Well, obviously, it's the go with the code. And nations often wage war over the natural resources we need to generate energy. Precisely, people can be so short-sighted. If they only open their eyes, there's energy all around us. The world is teeming with it. So Vegapunk looks up, and he's like, son, it's everywhere. If that raw power can be converted into a more apparent and accessible form, we'd never see another conflict spark up over it again. Fascinating. I'm certain science will make that possible someday. So he has this idea that if he is able to produce this free energy available to everyone in the world, then basically peace will come about for mankind from that point on. But Vegapunk has to know if this thing at one point in time existed, or the idea of this existed in the Point Century, and what ended up happening after that, then it's just going to cause history to repeat itself, unless it's something that's never happened in the history of the world. Right, where Vegapunk is potentially implying here, knowing what happened in the Void Century. Well, of course, the power source still trying to find it and whatnot. But if they did have such a thing, maybe it was only available to a select few, in the same way in which it is to us, right, in the real world, right, where not everyone has access to the same amount of water, the same amount of oil, the same amount of power, right? It is certain countries that have access to such things, and so what Vegapunk is saying here is very, very ideological, but it makes sense as to what he's trying to do, and I love it. I love it because it's so One Piece, right? I'm certain science will make that possible someday. You know, anything man can imagine is a possibility in reality back in Jaya. But being able to transform raw power that the world is just shining through and convert it into more apparent and accessible form is what he believes will lead to peace, right? So Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei are looking at Bonnie still knocked out after the bee incident. And Luffy's like, I don't give a flying flag, North. No, you still don't care? No, it's great. You want to make people happy. I've got no interest in being a hero, though. You know the go with the coat doesn't care about being a hero, man. Even though he is. Also, I still don't get why you want to leave. That's the thing. My quest to further my understanding of energy led me to investigate the ancient fuel. Is it time? That powered this mechanical soldier. My curious nature as a scientist compelled me to take a peek. Imagine how much we'd learn if that forbidden thread of history was unraveled. Talk to me, Vegapunk, baby, I'm here. Son, I'm here, bro. Talk to me. Led me to investigating the ancient fuel that powered this mechanical soldier. My curious nature as a scientist compelled me to take a peek. Imagine how much we'd learn if that forbidden thread of history was unraveled. After a dear friend of mine died, after a dear friend of mine died, is he referring to Clover? I found myself diving ever deeper into the abyss to further his will. Okay, it's got to be Clover. So I found myself diving ever deeper into the abyss to further his will. Explosion? Lucci? That's got to be Lucci, right? Luffy looks back. Vegapunk? Dang it, man. Bro, Lucci, don't interrupt the ancient fuel conversation. Anything but the Void Century. Bro, listen, man. You can interrupt a lot of other conversations. Don't interrupt a conversation about the Void Century, please. Please, bro. My boy was about to go in. No. So explosion pops off. In short, I know too much. And now the government wants to erase me just like O'Hara. So now we continue to see why it is that they want him erased. But what's very interesting about this is, what conclusion did Vegapunk recently come to? Or is this something that, due to the events happening around the world, they decided we're just going to start erasing everyone? Like, we don't care. It is time for another great cleansing, and Vegapunk is out. Like, anybody who knows anything about Nika, about the Void Century, about ancient whatevers, you're getting wiped. Because it's just very strange to me that specifically right now they would send Lucci to go take out Vegapunk. So now the government wants to erase me just like O'Hara. What? The ruckus must be Cypher Pole 0. There it is. 0. Luffy, don't even worry about that, bro. Don't even worry. Don't even sweat, son. Don't even worry about such a thing, baby. Look at Robert D, son. CP0, the direct subordinates of the Celestial Dragons. What? Weren't they called CP9? CP0 is a division that stands above the rest. They say their members have historically been harbingers of catastrophe. That's an interesting line. Golly! Hey, come Kaku. My boy hit him with a G Willikers, man. Yo, golly! It truly is a city of the future. I can hardly contain myself. Yo, Kaku, I love this energy, baby. Loving the energy. And then you got Robert D. Gucci, man. Look at him, dog. Rob. Yo, too bad he's about to get smoked. Cyberball agents? Don't they usually wear black suits? Why didn't they come to the normal port? Hey, did you guys hear about the 2 weaponized sea beasts that were taken out near the coast? So that's confirmation that some sea beasts just got smoked. Don't tell me they're intruders. Lucci's quiet. Lucci is quiet, son. Shaka, CB0 are on the island. How do they bypass the port? They're here? You're the worst, Rob Lucci. Stay away. Nami's like, yeah. Bro, I love how immediately the individuals in particular remember like how devastating the original incident was in Annie's lobby, and they're still in that mindset. And Sanji's like, yo, screw that, dude. I'll take care of Lucci myself, man. You don't want to see me. You don't want to see me. But Nami and Usopp are like, oh my goodness. Rob? The cat? We gotta deal with the cat again? So they're panicking. Sanji, I love the way that Sanji is just immediately becoming protective of Robin. They must have realized that rejecting our request would inevitably result in the sea beast consuming their ship. So there it is. They left. So if they managed to get above ground, or to Egghead Island, using the S-Bear's ability, and because they knew that this thing would get destroyed, does that confirm that it's teleportation in the same way that Kuma's is? So they let it happen and use the Seraphim's paw powers. Here it is, man. Here it is. So the Seraphim's paw powers to land instead. So that's the confirmation right there. So does that mean that Vegapunk created an actual like perfected copy of the paw fruit? Because if that's the truth, that's insane. Obviously, this isn't something you would give to every single pacifist, but specifically to the Seraphim version, with which these units just recently came out. That's wild to me. So if Vegapunk was... And obviously, Kuma's lineage factor is probably the one that he's been with the longest, right? Considering how much he's done to Kuma's body. So he knows Kuma's body inside and out. So if that's the case, then having that replicated, like the paw fruit replicated, makes perfect sense. They used S-Bear, huh? We have no choice then. The sacrifice of their ship shows their resolve to fight. So that's Shaka saying this. Evacuate the researchers and workers. Atlas, make your way back to the lab. Let's go, dude! Prepare the Seraphim. We're deploying S-Snake, S-Hawk, and S-Shark. S-Snake? Hancock? S-Hawk? Mihawk? S-Shark? Jimmy? Whoa, wait a minute. So, this implies that we're going to get the Hancock situation that we've been talking about this entire arc, that I really want to see Hancock meet Luffy, because that's going to show us how much the Seraphims retain of their original individuals, right? So I need Hancock to meet Luffy. Shout out to Fresno for that idea. S-Hawk. I need S-Hawk to go up to Zoro immediately, son. I need to see them boys boxing. Please. Please. Please, man. And you know, S-Shark, Jinbei was already catching the hands from everyone else a couple chapters ago, so... You know, let my boy catch a body. let him catch a CP0 body, for all I care. Let him go out there and box Kaku or Stussy or something, you know. Let him get some dubs. Let him get some dubs. And trust their commander, Sentomaru! He is the bodyguard of Vegapunk, man. So we're gonna see Sentomaru commanding Hancock, Mihawk, and Jinbei Seraphims. Roger. Now then, will you take me out to sea? I won't need long to pack the Quasar. We're not going on a field trip, old-timer. Your sudden disappearance definitely qualifies a catastrophe. So, Luffy's like, dog, we're not going on the Magic School Bus. And Jinbei's like, yo, your sudden disappearance qualifies it as a catastrophe. I hope you understand this, right? Sentomaru, son. I'll allow it, though, since you've got a funny head. That's why I love Luffy, bro. Luffy's like, yo, you got a funny head, son? I'll let you on the crew any day of the week, man. It's like, yo, come on, dude. You got a funny head. You call that a screening process? Then let's head up. This place will soon be a battlefield. Would you mind bringing Bonnie with you to lab stratum above the clouds? Sure, no worries. So, it looks like now Vegapunk is going to attempt to take them up. So, all of the crew's going to get back together again in the stratum above the clouds. That is the current goal. So is for them to head up there, and obviously he's looking after Bonnie. So sure, no worries. Well then, see you up there. This man just disappears. He just phases away. And Luffy and Chopper's reactions can't let me done like, what? This man phases away like he's Danny Phantom. Going ghost. Well then, see you up there. He vanished. Apple Gramps. That's a really cool nickname. Apple Gramps. All this futuristic tech is really messing with my head. I feel you, Luffy, man. My man disappeared. Yo. Quasar. My man called him Apple Gramps, bro. Yo, Luffy said, yo, get him on, bro. You got a funny head, Skip. There's a space monster. Yow! So here we see Robert, Kaku, the rest of the CP agents. They're trying to fire at it, but of course it's a hologram. And they're not, well, how are they supposed to know, you know? If imagine, right? Or Lucci and them, they're used to seeing modern day technology. So they're not used to seeing holograms, burgers that can be spawned out of absolutely nothing. They're not used to seeing all this futuristic stuff. So, actually, now that I think about it, it might not even take Smoker showing up, or Groose or any of them, to continue Lucci's thought process. Now, obviously, we want Lucci to remain the savage that he is, right? But I do find this potential subplot for him very interesting in the fact that he, now being shown Void Century stuff, the very fact that Lucci is here puts them at danger. They are going to be seeing stuff that no one should see. This is futuristic, or, Void Century stuff. So, this is going to lead Lucci to question. But I wonder what that in and of itself is going to lead to. Like, I'm very interested in this whole, like, what Oda was trying to set up with what Lucci said at the end of chapter 1060. And like I said, I want Lucci to continue being the savage that he is. I never wanted to change that. But I really want to see what that change would lead to, right? Or what that change in mentality would lead to. Because it at the very least would provide some sort of compelling internal conflict for Rob Lucci. Of all characters, the person who was out there doing his job, son, like, dark justice to the max, but he was doing his job. So now someone questioning his superiors like that after the incident at Eni's lobby, and especially now, seeing the Void Century before your very eyes, it's I wonder how he's gonna feel about all this, because it's like holograms, space monsters. It's like, how do you even react to this? So Cypher Pole starts firing. Our guns aren't working. I've always wanted to take a swing at an unworldly beast like this. Kaku, yay, shout out to Kaku. You must be a genuine space monster. Tempest Kick, Rankyaku. Dude, I have wanted to hear that for years, man. Rankyaku, wacha? I love the sound of Rankyaku, man. It just has such a really cool sound in the anime. So does Rokugan. Don't bother Stussy. Stussy action? It's a hologram. So Stussy immediately knows it's a hologram. That's interesting. So, don't bother, it's a hologram. You could have told us sooner. You're as well versed as ever, Stussy. Lucci knows too. Okay, so now... Yeah, this takes me back. Takes me back? To what? Yeah, this takes me back. I'm not saying Stussy's from the Void Century now. But that's some very interesting verbiage. Very interesting format of what... This takes me back. So... Either they're implying here that Lucci, Stussy, and them have seen this technology before. Either being here in and of itself or seeing it in some other type of capacity. But that type of... This takes me back... let me come back to that. That fascinates me. That really fascinates me. I'm going to pop up and take a look and see above the clouds. So Kaku is doing Kaku things, like back in Water 7, and he's going to go to a higher vantage point to get a good look at everything, right? If Vegapunk's around, he'll be up there. So, I feel sorry for Kaku, though, because if Kaku goes up where the sun is, I feel sorry for Kaku, son. Yo, Brook's gonna catch a body. Those two lines in the cloud. Can you see them, Lucci? Yeah. 2 lines of the cloud. When an enemy target crosses those lines, there's like an infrared laser. Like a trap where the moment you get past a certain point, it explodes? A laser beam is triggered to neutralize, and then just let them go through it? It's a deterrent system that covers the entire lab stratum. They call it the Frontier Dome. So that's Oda, of course, going into more sci-fi type of stories. Obviously, the whole dome, you know, we live in a dome. That is something that that has been prevalent in sci-fi stories for years. So him utilizing that to be the security, the trap for Vegapunk's lab stratum is very interesting, and I actually like that a lot. The dome. So once you get past that point, a laser is going to shoot at you. So I'm going to assume that's a laser coming in, like pacifist the levels of strength, right? So to neutralize the target, I'm going to assume it's not going to be enough to take out Kaku, but it's got to do at least some sort of damage. The Frontier Dome. Kaku-san! Moral of the story, so Kaku comes crashing back down. Lucci and Stussy. Lucci and Stussy sent this man to his grave, dude. Moral of the story is, it's unwise to underestimate the world's greatest scientist. You should really mention that kind of intel beforehand. But Stussy just wants to see the world burn. I'm after seeing what happened in Whole Cake Island and now this, I'm convinced that Stussy just wants to see the world burn, and I'm down for it. Kaku gets back up. You're a piece of work, Stussy. Well, at least you're not chilly anymore, right? I already like the dynamic. I already love the dynamic, man. They're trolls, and we love to see it. We love to see it. So Stussy let this man get fried. Just let him straight up get fried. Hey, what's the big idea? So here we have Atlas coming through. I'm the only one allowed to rampage on Egghead. Dr. Atlas. Atlas is one of the Vegapunks. So Stussy is very well versed in this information. Atlas, wait. You don't stand a chance. Ultra... Oh, snap. She's about to fight Lucci? Ultra Mighty... Yo, this man Lucci... Yo, you see him going to the form. This isn't a game. And delivers a Rokugan. When was the last time we saw that? Chapter 427, son. Yo, I think that might actually I think that was the final chapter of the Lucci fight, right? 426, something like that. So if that's the case, and that was the last time we saw Rokugan, Oda hasn't drawn a Rokugan in 16 years. Rokugan. Yo. To this day, that is still one of my favorite techniques in One Piece, bro. To this day. It's filthy, son. 6 King Pistol. Wait, or is that a new attack? Bro, cool. No, it's because when you grow up with the Kaizoku fan subs, all I know it is as Rokugan, so I'm like, well, is that what it's called in English? I don't remember, but screw it, we continue. 6 King Pistol. Dr. Atlas, he's showing no mercy. So Kaku's like, yo, Lucci's cooking. The cat is on the prowl. He's moving. And we love to see it. So, Atlas gets smoked by what appears to be Rokugan. We get a dope spread and we see Atlas start frying. Oh no, that's the Rokugan pose. Oh, that's the Rokugan pose. Hold up. Rokugan. Oh, I love that move so much, man. I really do. I love the way Oda drew right here. Very reminiscent to the way in which he drew Lucci back in Eni's lobby, man. It looks so cool. So Atlas is cracking away like he just got hit by Whitebeard's ability. And we cut over and we see the Rokugan landing on Atlas's face. Oh my god. Dr. Shaka has ordered us to evacuate. Everyone retreat to the factory. We're under attack. It looks like you're still breathing. Oh man. Yeah! Dr. Atlas. Come, let's head to that. Let's head to the top with that vacuum rocket thing. So Luffy's carrying Bonnie. Huh? I'm going peg leg. I'm going peg leg. I'm going peg leg. Let's go. Oh. Oh, my boy Oda said real shoulders. Yo! Oh, man. Yo! Bro, my boy Oda was watching the World Cup and he said, son, if we don't see some rivalries and we don't see some news boxing, I'll produce it myself. I'll produce it myself. I mean, listen, Lucci's getting washed. But bro, the idea of Lucci and Luffy, a confrontation between the two after all these years is so dope to me. Because now it's going to present an opportunity, right? This is going to be either Oda showcasing how strong Lucci has gotten since Enies Lobby, or this is going to be the opportunity for him to show exactly in which when we left, when we got to return to Sabaody, and we saw him one-shot the Pacifista, this could be the opportunity for post-Wano go with the... Oh my god. Bro, if he actually fights him, because that's a hypothetical thing in and of itself, right? Like, we don't know if he's actually gonna box him. You know, he might not have to. He might not. But hypothetically speaking, if they box for a minute, I'm talking, yo, they go in there and it's like, like they're feeling it out. Luffy's like, what's going on? You know, he's got the move. He's like, you know, because well, some people just have great chemistry in the ring. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a wrestling fan. Anybody with great chemistry in the ring, you throw them in there again. Don't believe me? You ask Dirty Week. You know, they put Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the same thing for 12 years. So, right here we have Lucci and Luffy potentially getting into a conflict, into some sort of conflict. It might be a verbal conflict. It might be a physical conflict. I'm hoping for a physical one because I want to see hands. And Luffy versus Lucci was straight hands. That's the reason why that fight is so beloved by the community. It's not only the intensity of that fight, but the fact that it was straight up two grown men boxing. I mean, who doesn't love that? You know what I mean? So, I'm a Gear 5th tard. I don't even gotta see it. I know my boy's capable of. If he fought Kaido in base form, he could box Lucci in base form. He could go less than base form. He'll put out a Conqueror's Coded Fist talking about some, hit him with that Roman Reigns Superman punch. Yo, I dare Lucci to get back up the same way that he used to use the Rokugan. Non-stop on Luffy. Pa, pa, pa. He even handled Supreme King Rokugan. I dare the man to get up after one Conqueror's Coded punch, son. Yeah, dude, if Luffy goes in like he's Ippo and he coats the fist, Lucci's gonna be sleeping. But because Lucci's gonna be the main force trying to get us out of this island, I wonder how Oda's gonna play this, because obviously Lucci's gotten stronger since then too. There's no way in the Flying Flag North he's anywhere near Luffy right now, but I'm curious on what we're gonna see next week. Because obviously Oda knows this is fan service for the fans. This is like ultimate fan service, right? This arc already has had multiple callbacks to Enies Lobby, right? With the Robin flashback, with Saul, now with Robert and the boys popping up. So I wonder how far the references are gonna go next week. The fact there's no breakthrough, bro. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Bro, it's Luffy and Lucci, man. Meeting after all this time. Look, oh god. Yo, Atlas had to get bodied for the culture, man. I actually had to. We had to lose a version of Vegapunk, but it was for the Rokugan. Yeah, the Rokugan looks different, though. The Rokugan definitely looks devastating. One shot at a Vegapunk. I can't wait. Yo, I can't wait, dude. Dude. Oh, bro, I'm mad excited for next week's chapter, bro. Oh, man. Yo, Phantom, thank you so much for the 750, dog. I appreciate you. Phantom says, go to chapter, love the videos. I appreciate you, Phantom. This was an awesome chapter, man. It's flipping Lucci. Bro, let me tell you something. This is how crazy the final saga is. The final saga is so insane that Lucci and Dragon are reoccurring characters. Son, I feel like I've seen Lucci and Dragon more times than I've seen the Straw Hats. Son, it's wild out here. It's wild out here. But yo, Phantom, I appreciate you, yo. Thank you. Subra comes into a membership for 3 months. Shout out to Subra. Says Lucci hit Atlas, the one to give Luffy food. That's facts. Yo, he's done. He's done. Also, Stussy, this takes me back. When did you come to Egghead? That's what I'm stressing, Subra. It's like, what did Stussy mean by this takes me back? What does that imply? Cliffhanger's crazy, man. The cliffhanger goes crazy, dude. Thank you, Subra. Thank you. Oh, this chapter. Yo, I already came into this chapter, like I said, with severe One Piece withdrawals, man, and I was losing my. I was going crazy, bro. But yo, next week we're gonna get the rematch, dog. And you know, like I said, I don't know what type of rematch we're gonna be in for. I don't know if it's gonna be a verbal, but bro, we gotta see hands. Like Subra said, Atlas gave Luffy food. Lucci's gotta see this man again. Yo, but I just wanna, because you already know Lucci's gonna try some. He's gonna be like, okay, no, I gotta test Straw Hat out. This man's a Yonko now, you know, he's an emperor. I gotta test him out, bro. I better see if he actually, like, if Lucci actually tries to box him, I better see the biggest flex. I'm talking every time Lucci goes in for like one of his finger pistols, Luffy's just like, like back in Return to Sabaody, just, he's just bobbing and weaving. That's what I gotta see, bro. I gotta see that. I just want to see Luffy flex. You know what better than a Robert D. Lucci, right? I mean, he got a dub. He just one-shotted Dr. Atlas. You know, he did his thing. I'm curious. I'm really curious on how much Lucci has grown. And that's what makes it so fascinating, this upcoming chapter. Considering they are the major force that it's getting them off the island. It's like, the fact that Luffy and Lucci are already meeting here right now lets me know not only is this going to be a short arc, but what does this mean for the future of Egghead Island? If this confrontation is already happening right here, right now, it's very fascinating. The Rokugan was the original hit from within. That's facts, Pluto. That is facts. Legit. Hybrid form for Atlas L. Lucci. Watch out, Vortex. Excuse me, Lucci went into hybrid form. Hey, but that's Vegapunk. That's definitely Vegapunk. And Miss says nothing on a real note. Lucci definitely got a lot stronger, but he could be young Commander though. But now it's still nothing. Exactly, Miss. That's the thing, right? Like, no matter how much strong Lucci has gotten, it don't matter. It don't matter. I predict we will get a Kuma chapter next. We won't see Luffy versus Lucci. Hey, I'm down. No matter where we go, I'm down. Either we're gonna find out something about the Void Century, we're gonna see Vegapunk, we're gonna see Kuma, or whatever, Dragon. Like wherever we go, Snoop, I'm eating. I'm eating. If Imu-sama trained Lucci as raps, Imu-sama trained anyone as raps. Silva says, true, we got Croco. Bro, I almost forgot about the Seraphims. Dude, on top of Lucci coming in, we have Seraphim, Hancock, Mihawk, and Jinbei about to come on out here to box CP0. How in the world did the CP0 get out here alive? They're fighting the goat with the coat, and now they're sending out Hancock, Mihawk, and Jinbei? I mean, unless they start boxing us. Unless the Seraphims randomly turn and go against us. But besides that, it's like, how do they get out of here alive? Bro, just Mihawk. Just Mihawk. And I'm fearing for all of them. Let alone all three. Let alone all three. You know? But Silva says it's true. We got Croc, Mihawk, Blackbeard, Shanks, Dragon. Weekly, bro. Kuma, Vegapunk, weekly. Body, weekly. It's wild, Silva. I can't believe it. I'm still trying to... Like I said, I just recently reread all the chapters that came out this year. Do you know that Shanks was in 3 chapters this year? And we're gonna count panels that he was in 4! Shanks! Now, we've never had 4 Shanks chapters ever! Period! I've seen Dragon more times this year than I've seen Yamato. Potentially. Dragon! And I'm like, bro, what is going on? It's Final Saga. If we get Vivi in a chapter, it's chapter of the year. Good lord. Dude, Vivi, son. My girl. It's wild. It's wild out here, son. Luffy flexes are always high facts, Jiro. Like, I love when Luffy flexes, dude. That's something that made Act 1 of Wano so much fun. Is we got to see a man who just recently learned Future Sight, just exercise. He used Conqueror's Haki like 10 times in Act 1, dude. Casually. Imagine Zoro and Brook coming down from the sky. Oh, they don't want to see Zoro and Brook sobering. Yo. Dude. Bro. Kaku? Stussy? Yo, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know how much stronger Kaku is, and I don't know how strong. I'm going to assume Stussy is Lucci level, like somewhere around there, just based on how cocky she is. She's got to be packing something, you know what I mean? But even then, that's Roronoa Zoro, bro. That's the Soul King. You feel me? They could 2v3, and I'm still betting on the boys. Imagine if we get a repeat of Eni's lobby, they both box, Luffy's clap, but comes straight back with a Kong Gatling or something this time. So, I mean, I can't see Luffy getting clapped, but I find it very fascinating that Luffy gets... So you're saying that, like, Luffy gets knocked down, he gets caught off guard by Lucci, and then instead of hitting him with a Jet Gatling, he hits him with a Kong Gatling? I could see that. I think that'd be really cool. Jesus Virulent says, yo, Recon, I got some incredible news. My country's actually going to be screening Film Red. Congratulations, Jesus, yo. And I'm seeing it tomorrow with my best friend who's a lifetime One Piece fan. Yo, congratulations. I hope y'all enjoy Jesus, man. Enjoy that Film Red greatness. Akash Panda says, Judge Hockey confirmation on the cover page. I didn't even notice. I was so focused on the Mads and the thing, but you're absolutely right, because if he managed to hit Caesar, then obviously he would have Hockey. You're spitting. You're absolutely spitting. Same Vortex. And that's what I was talking about earlier, like, Rob Lucci has had such an integral part in my love for One Piece that all I want to see is Lucci greatness, right? Like, regardless of whether he gets bodied here or whatever happens, as a character, I want to see Lucci's progression. I want to see his especially his internal conflict, because now that he's seeing all of this, Lucci's acting a little strange, right? And even in this chapter, he was acting a little off for certain things. So I'm excited to see where Oda takes his internal conflict. I think that can be a very compelling part of the narrative heading into the climax of Egghead Island. Which, by the way, after this chapter, how long do y'all think Egghead Island is going to be? Because I know we were all like, you know what, it's going to be Zoe length, right? It's going to be around, what was Zoe, like 806, 807, up until 822? Because I think 823 and 824 were the Reverie stuff. So that's like 15 chapters. So if that's the case, and we're all expecting Egghead to be like the Zoe here, right? I'm still sticking with my original prediction of 20 to 25. I'm still going 20 to 25. But Zebras are going to get packed unless someone flips sides, Sage you spin. They're going to have to do a face turn, you know? Or somebody's going to have to do a heel turn. Kid Hawk, dude, lazy mofos. That's what I'm stressing. Kid Hawk had Blackbeard sweating. Not just Blackbeard, his whole crew. They were like, yo, we can't mess with that one. We can't mess with that guy. And it's like, yo, if he has any type of... Bro, the man was known as the Marine Hunter. I'm pretty sure Mihawk was the first person they asked to do the Chichibukai. They're like, yo, we can't deal with him. He's by himself on a boat in the middle of the ocean. They gave a man by himself with a ghost girl. Perona's a goat. Perona is not only a goat, Perona's goat hit, all right, with an insane ability. But they gave a man with a single ghost girl on his crew 3.6 billion berries, son. If the man even has a shred of Mihawk's DNA, I'm not trying to see him. I mean, come on. He had Blackbeard sweating. Son. Yamagoat, you know, yo, Lazy Mofo's, Yamagoat is getting good treatment in the anime, man. Shout out to Yamagoat. Oh, Vortex, that's fascinating. So Vortex says, since Oda has been doing so many unexpected things, what if he does something so out of the box and Kuma goes to Vivi rather than going to Egghead? That fascinates me. That we all expect Kuma to show up at Egghead Island and instead does not go to Egghead Island. That fascinates me. That's a cool idea, Vortex. That's a cool idea. Oh, the adult websites are back. Fire chapter. It's a fire. Anytime the adult websites show up, it's a fire chapter. I'm talking about. That's how we know. That's how we know. Super comes in with the 100s. This is, let me hype you up more. Next week, One Piece episode 1044 might cover Stars Take the Stage. Oh, yo, it's gonna be a goated week, bro. That's facts. So obviously, in the episode we're about to get this week is gonna be the Robin Black Maria Greatness, right? So you're right. Yeah, next chapter is gonna be 1022. Oh, and we're getting that with the I'm ready. Oh, yeah. Next week's gonna be some gas. 110%. And then One Piece it's the second. It has 2 more chapters. Well, technically 3 left in the year. Because we get the scans get the one from next year early, right? Like it usually comes around like Christmas Day or the day after Christmas. So that's where we got the Laugh Tale chapter 1000 and 1036. We got those, at least in recent years. We got that around Christmas time. I remember even back like 2010. I always bring up that memory of whenever I was in Puerto Rico and the chapters drop on Christmas Day. Like One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. So it's been like that forever. That the scans will have them out like mad early. But in this one in particular, I do believe this year we're going to have, where are we going, 68? So I'm going to do my chapter of the year stream before 1071 comes out. So I think we're going to get 1069 and then 1070, and then that's when like officially no more One Piece chapters for the year. But then we're going to get, the people who read the chapters on Fridays, we're going to get 1071 in Christmas time. So before that, because that chapter is going to be a part of the next year batch. before that chapter comes out, I want to do the chapter of the year stream. So that's gonna be my plan. But yo, Subra, filthy week next week. I appreciate you for the super. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. Juan Carlos says, has Luffy mastered Gear 4? I would say so. I would say so after what he was doing against Kaido. I would say he has mastered Gear 4. Oh, here are some of the answers. Around 10 to 15 chapters, but this could change quickly. Okay, Egg Island, 10 to 15 chapters more. Okay, so everybody's on 10 to 15 chapters. Vortex says 10 to 15 chapters. Okay, I like it. I dig it. So, I'm down for that. Like I said, I always expected Egghead Island to be similar to Sub-Outer Archipelago in size, right? Where it would be around 2 to 3 volumes in length. But if we're going to stick to 2 volumes in length, let's get it, man. Let's get to Elbaf. If we assume that's the next arc, right? Let's get to Elbaf. The quicker we get to Elbaf, the happier I am. And I'm loving my time at Egghead. I really am. But now that we know, because this is the thing, this chapter, once again, showed just how much time we have left here. Like, it's going to be moving quick. So, obviously, if Vegapunk does end up joining us, what fascinates me about this, if Vegapunk ends up joining us officially, right, heading into the next island, maybe if it's not necessarily a crew member, even though we know Vegapunk's dream, right, like, let's just say Vegapunk, whether it is the final crew member or whether he is, Yamato's coming later, but whether he does end up joining the crew or is just somebody on the ship like Kinemon, right? Regardless, if Vegapunk joins us to Elbaf, that is going to add a completely different dynamic to the crew. That like a completely different dynamic to the crew, and that actually fascinates me if that's the case. Vegapunk and could you imagine telling yourself when you first got into One Piece, or and it's like Vegapunk would be with the Straw Hats when they get to Elbaf? That's nuts. Piranha the Goat, you already know Silva. So Snoop says, I'd rather Kuma go looking for Sabo. So there is multiple different things, right? And then Juan Carlos right after that says, Kuma's going to save Dofi. So multiple different ways in which Kuma can go. I'm assuming Kuma's going to Bonnie, right? And over to Vegapunk. But that's insane. That's insane. Like Kuma potentially going to Sabo kind of scares me. That's actually a goated scenario as well. I mean, of course, I want to see Vivi, but man, if Esok had Blackbeard sweating, other Seraphim are relative to him. I generally don't see how Lucci. You feel me? Look, listen. It's hard enough dealing with just Jinbei, just the S Shark, Hancock. Like I said, Mihawk, son. Just put that into perspective. Mihawk. Something with Mihawk's DNA is about to be on the move. What, are you kidding me? So Silva says, although I feel Luffy can clear Lucci and base form, I really want to see Gear 5. Dude, Silva, like I said, I just finished rereading the batch. Gear 5 is the most rent-free thing that has ever been produced in this series. Ever. Right? So it just like you said here with about the same feeling we had post Rosa, just wanted to see Luffy use Gear 4 again. It's just like you said, it's that but times 100. Like literally, I don't care if Luffy goes into Gear 5 just for jokes. Where he's like, yo, Vegapunk, you want to see my hair turn white? Would you? 50 out of 10 chapter. Bro, and we know Oda loves drawing Gear 5, where we've had multiple different color pages and cover pages with Gear 5. We've had like 4. Since it's dropped. He just loves drawing it. We love seeing it. And I know Toei is just like foaming at the mouth, ready to show it in the anime, bro. So we just want to show it, man. I can only imagine, right? So we all want to see it. It's my favorite transformation ever. So it's like, obviously, especially where we are right now, in Futurama, in a futuristic island, how much fun would it be to have something like Gear 5 going nuts? I want to see him do it. Could you imagine he just randomly flexes like, yo, Lucci, you want to see what I can do? Check out my heart. Lucci's gonna be like, what the flip is this guy doing? And then he's like, oh, now that you say it, I want it. Even, like I said, he doesn't have to. For the culture, can we get it? I know in Zoe we didn't get it, and it took him a minute to enter Gear 2nd and Thriller Bark. A minute. And then eventually in Thriller Bark, he went into Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. So it's like, obviously, right? It can't happen. But if it doesn't happen, it won't happen. He's saving Gear 5 for something later. But if he doesn't, hey, I won't complain, man. The more Gear 5 I get, the better. You feel me? Momame says, you think Kuma can be fixed? At this point, because of the way that One Piece is, either Kuma's going to end up being a very tragic character that never ends up being fixed, or it's going to end up being like a very inspirational character and actually end up being fixed. So it depends on the way it's going to go, but if you ask me, Momame, I think Kuma's going to end up being a tragic One Piece character. I don't think he will end up getting fixed, personally. I do think Kuma's going to end up being one of the tragic characters in the series for sure. Yo, DJ, for the NL agenda, I'm right there with you. You know, give me some water real quick. For the NL agenda, anything's possible, like Kevin Garnett said. Imagine S-Talk and S-Snake are a little bit older now since they had experience in the Amazon League. Ooh, so we see them like aged up a bit. That must be really cool. That will be our opportunity to see teenage Mihawk for the first time since the chapter 0 stuff in Strong World, where we saw him in Logetown. So I think that'll be pretty interesting. Your POV need. I think we need to return to Wano. Ancient weapon Pluton might run on ancient fuel. I agree with that. I think that's a very, very, very likely scenario. So Vegapunk might lead us to Wano again. Yamato joining and Vegapunk taking shelter there. So I don't think we go back to Wano. At least now. Down the line we will. I don't think we go now because I feel like right now what would help both Vegapunk and the rest of the Straw Hats is to go to Elbaf. Because I'm going to assume there's going to be some source of knowledge within the database over there that they have at this point in Elbaf with the massive library they have there that he's going to want to get to, because I don't know if Vegapunk's going to have any knowledge on where the next road poneglyph is, but I'm sure even he must understand where this journey could potentially take him. And so I believe that at this point, once he sees Luffy go Gear 5, that might change his entire perspective, because I think he might actually see Luffy's Gear 5 as a hint towards the power source, the Allspark. Because I do believe if they were trying to create their own sun, and Luffy being the sun god, whenever he goes into Gear 5, I do believe that has some sort of connection with the Allspark, with the whatever in the Flying Flatters, that energy source, is the ancient fuel, or whatever, right? So the Undying Flame, as Eric Turlotto put last week. So if that's the case, then I think they're just going to go straight ahead. Because, like I said, we're going to get back to Wano eventually because of the Momonosuke, Kinemon, and the ancient weapons, Yamato, all that stuff is going to happen. But I don't think, especially right after leaving Wano, that we're going to go back to it. I think it's immediately going to be, Elbaf, then Lodestar, or whatever. I have no idea how many arcs new arcs Oda's going to have, or I shouldn't even say new arcs, new islands Oda has left to explore. But knowing that Egghead was his, this is out of the blue arc, then the next one's going to be, our destination is here. Because that's normally how it works in One Piece. Random thing pops up, we go to a random new island, really, really cool stuff. Then the next island, we know where we're going. So, if that's the case, next one is probably more than likely going to be Elbaf, which is really exciting considering how much this arc has been hyping up that one. And like we've talked about a few different times within these chapter discussions, is with every single chapter we get in Egghead Island, we come closer to understanding the importance of Elbaf in regards to Elbaf is going to contain way more voice entry information than all of us were ready for. This I was ready for. because I knew Elbaf was going to contain Void Century stuff just based on the fact that these are giants from the past, people who have long lifespans, right? So they've been here for a very long time. After the Big Mom flashback, we know that they been there for a minute, and now after, especially after the Nika thing, where we know that they worshipped the sun god. So it's like, okay, obviously Void Century implications are there. Same thing with the individuals in the Nolan Kalgara flashback, right? So it's like those connections are being established, but the Elbaf thing now with O'Hara, with Jaguar D. Saul, with Loki, with especially now that we're heading into like the gods thing and how important they are to the Void Century. Elbaf is going to be a treasure trove at this point, and that's why I think the faster we get out of Egghead Island, the longer Elbaf's going to be, because I'm sure Egghead's going to cook, man. Egghead is going to cook, dude. Shoot. I can't wait for Elbaf, man. Elbaf's going to be so much fun. Yeah, Soba, facts, man. Like, Luffy said, that's when I'm totally free. You know how cool that is? It's, and you know, it's not only just the way in which Luffy describes himself, it's also the way everybody else does, too. Like, Kaido specifically looked at him and said, this looks like something out of a comic strip. And I think that's what makes Gear 5 so much fun. You know, Gear 5 really is everything that I love about comics, cartoons, all just put into one. Just in 1044, I had like 1044 and 1045. I still use those same references in Gear 5 videos to this day. I mean, bro, it is the most like referential material you could ever have. Yu-Gi-Oh, Flintstones, the Jetsons, you know, Popeye, you name it, it's got it. And I think that's so dope. And then thematically, it's just, oh, I love Gear 5. It's the goat. It's the flipping goat, son. Swinging Lucci around his head by his tail. That'd be great, lazy mofos. That'd be great. If we go back to Wano, Recon would immediately have to drop a skit. So many tears. Oh yeah, the skip is immediately. A skit is immediately being dropped. 110%. 110%. Ooh, Tron Godward with the facts. S Flamingo is what I'm waiting for. The menace to humanity, please. Please, we need some Doflamingo greatness in our lives, man. Kizaru may also make an appearance since Atlas mentioned Sentomaru. So this is the thing, right? Sentomaru showing up. Specifically, what I like wording wise in this chapter, there's two things that were worded in a particular way. Now that you say that about GoldenEye, about Sentomaru, and I know this has no relation to the Kizaru thing, but it's a bouncing off point. For in this chapter, the Stussy thing, I'm going to continue thinking about because that's very fascinating to me. About, you know, Stussy saying, you know, that this takes me back, but Sentomaru specifically within this chapter was stated to have full command over the Hancock, Mihawk, and Jinbei units. So if that's the case, I think this is going to be Oda's opportunity, because Sentomaru seeing the Straw Hats is automatically going to tell me, like, hold on, it could potentially go the other way, and they could go after the Straw Hats, which would be really cool. Especially, like I said, because I want Hancock and Luffy's Seraphims to meet, because I know. We all know it's coming. Presno, once again, the moment I heard that theory, I was like, that has to happen. The Hancock Seraphim has to meet Luffy. And when that happens, we're going to see how much of their personality remains within their characters, or within their Seraphims. So Hancock goes nutty over Luffy, and then we know that they maintain, right, that. Mihawk and Zoro would, right after the Hancock interaction, I think that Mihawk-Zoro interaction, please. That'd be so peak. So, Sentomaru coming here would be so key. Just for that, because we know he's going to turn. He's like, yo, fight the Straw Hats, man. You know? So Snoop, this is very interesting, right? So last week, Eric Turlotto said the same thing. So let me read what Snoop says. He says, "I'd love for the Undying Flame to be among to One Piece, so that Vegapunk's dream could come true to provide everyone free energy." So if Vegapunk ends up joining the crew, that is his end goal, right? I don't know if it's gonna be the One Piece itself. I really like the theory that Eric presented last week, but or when the chapter dropped, but for this in particular, I think the more interesting thing is if Vegapunk ends up actually joining the Undying Flame / the Allspark being the end goal in Vegapunk's dream is going to in some way, shape, or form also connect to the All Blue. Because once the All Blue becomes a thing, this resource is not going to be limited to just one of the islands, right? Or the Grand Line or the New World or whatever it is. Once everything becomes one sea, they're all going to be connected through this Allspark again, right? Or through the Undying Flame. So I feel like now Vegapunk's dream would also coincide with Sanji's. And I think that'd be very, very interesting. Considering that once we see the All Blue taking place, once we see the end of the series come by and all these things start taking place, the red line potentially being taken out, then it's like, okay, now everyone has access to the exact same thing. And Vegapunk would have the opportunity to have his dream come true because now they would not be divided by all of these different things. And I think what would be very interesting also on top of that, Snoop, is not just for the people on the sea, is if that energy were to also be equally dispersed to people in the sky and in the bottom of the ocean, right? Where we have potentially what was taking place back in the day where this material probably only belonged to the ancient civilization. And in the WG being very scared of its potential, of what it could potentially do, like, yo, we gotta get rid of these dudes. Because like we talked about before, I strongly believe that each of them had an ancient weapon, right? Like the sky, the blue sea, the earth, and Fishman Island. Like, they all had their ancient weapons, and that allowed them to live like peacefully. But then stuff started going down. And I'm going to assume that stuff in particular started going down once that came into the picture, the Undying Flame. Because I feel like that's when a lot of individuals probably started getting very ambitious and or terrified of its potential possibilities and whatever Instant Messenger Sama was going for, right? So, but I agree with you 110% about it being connected to the overall endgame of the story, 100%. 100%. S Crocodile, super S Crocodile's gonna be nasty. Nasty. Need a Thomas scream from Lucci? Yo, me too. Like from Tom and Jerry. That'd be goat. Viking Gear 5. Oof. Viking Gear 5. Usopp, Shanks. And then on top of those, Juan Carlos, Robin, man. Like Robin's about to have a good Elbaf. Like, Robin's about to have Robin's about to have 3 arcs back to back of greatness. Had a great Wano. Had a great I almost call it great Vegapunk. A great Egghead. About to have a fantastic Elbaf. It really does represent One Piece Super. It truly does, and I love it so much. Like Miles Smile says, it's the embodiment of freedom. It's such a beautiful thing. Yo, DJ, if Lucci were to run because of Luffy's greatness, man, that's like, man, like, come on, you know. It's like, oh, my bad, dog. My bad. I can't wait to see what happens between the two. Like, how will Lucci respond? I'm so curious. I love this comment from K45 101. So this is right here. Hancock didn't immediately fall in love with Luffy on sight. It was only because of his resolve to save his friends that she started falling in love. So that's exactly my point. Is when Hancock arrives, it is going to be enemy, right? Like enemy on enemy. Luffy, Hancock. Luffy's going to be like, whoa, like, hold up. And then it's going to be a very similar situation to Amazon Lily, where Luffy, in an attempt to save someone else from that Seraphim Hancock, that's whenever she falls in love. That's the way I see it happening, personally. So, Super says Sentomaru with SSG and guessing Kizaru will become involved, which is also what was brought up earlier, right? By I believe it was GoldenEye, about Kizaru getting involved. My whole thing is, at this point in time, it's the final saga, right? I'm about to say, at this point in time, I don't see Kizaru getting involved within this arc right now, but it's the final saga. It could happen. But I don't see Kizaru getting directly involved right now, considering how we need to get to the next island. Unless Kizaru is one of the reasons why we go to the next island. But we're not afraid of admirals anymore, man. You know, so I don't know. I don't know how that would play out. Yo, Recon, man. Glad you could stop by. Yo, Silva, have a good one. And like he says, Richie Haifudu. Read the greatness. Oh, yo, Namer, what's good? Chapter was great. Great chapter. Great chapter. Our topic king, but have you watched the last special Stone Ocean? Miles, I'm super behind on Stone Ocean, man. And like, today, I was like, man, I want to watch it, but I'm in the middle of finals, so I have like no time right now. But I do, at the very least, want to do something for Stone Ocean, because I want to watch it like so bad. This is that final stretch is absolutely legendary, and I can't wait to watch it. But I'm not gonna have the opportunity to watch it in its entirety this weekend. It's just not gonna happen. So I'm very curious, actually, on whether I'll be able to react to like the very. I don't know if there's a new opening and ending. So if they have that, I would like to watch those. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. If Rob Lucci can command S-Bear, what makes it so he couldn't command the other Seraphims? Do you think it has something to do with the remote? Or like a direct command that was placed on him? So like Sentomaru, it was stated in this chapter, Sentomaru has direct command over the other three. So is there something that they have that, like kind of like a satellite, right? Where Vegapunk is controlling his other forms through the satellite. Does that imply that they're controlling the Seraphims through a satellite as well, or is it just based on control? Like who gives out the order? Is it Vegapunk? Where Vegapunk allows the others to have this control? But if that's the case, then why can't he just take the control back? It's like I'm curious on how that system works. There. I agree with that, Pluto. I agree with that 100%. And there's no way he's afraid to box anyone. Yeah, Jesus, definitely a big possibility, because it most certainly does feel like once we get to the end of the series, if Vegapunk is still breathing oxygen, I would dare to say that the One Piece world is going to be very similar to the way it was like when the series started, but there is going to be those like bits and pieces of the Void Central Ancient civilization and of the current civilization at the end of the series. Well, it depends on like what type of time skip there is. Let's just say there's like a 10-year time skip at the end of the series, or like a 20-year time skip. Then we'll most certainly see flying cars all over the place, and rockets and spaceships and all that stuff. But if the series ends like very close to where we are right now, I can't really see how we'd be that far ahead into the future. But remember also what Vegapunk said, that the reason why they were able to do so many of these things is because they had like that undying flame, that source, that power source. So it feels like once Vegapunk gets that, then he'll be able to do a whole bunch of different things. So once he gets that, it'll be cake. Like I said, if he's still breathing oxygen. If Vegapunk is still alive, I wouldn't count anything out of the series. And if that's the case, that would lead to why everybody's gonna have all this power. Right? Like the unlimited power source and stuff. I just wonder where Vegapunk's gonna get that thing. Because let's just say it is connected to the One Piece, right? Let's just say it is at Laugh Tale, this power source. Did the others? Let's just say, did Roger not know its importance? Does it look weird? Like, does the power source look strange? Where you just look at it, you're like, what in the world is this? Is that what it is? Where only someone like Vegapunk would understand what exactly it is? Or is it something that is like stuck somewhere? At this point, everything is a connection to the One Piece. We're in the final saga. I just wonder how deep that connection goes. Is it actually on Laugh Tale? I'm curious. Listen, Melvin Mop. Listen. If we get that S Flamingo, I'm marking out. I'm marking out big time. Big time. So Miles, we talked about this earlier for like where Kuma could potentially be headed. It's interesting, right? Because we know how Oda is. We know how Oda is in regards to he could show us one thing and then we can go somewhere else completely. I'm curious on. So it was presented earlier in multiple different comments that like it could be Vivi, it could be Sabo, it could be flipping. Name is escaping right now. This is how you know. This is how you know it's late, and I had a 10-page paper this morning that has the brain. But we're here for that One Piece greatness, baby. But the final one, I forgot what it was. Regardless, Kuma, there's a few different locations that Kuma could end up where he could potentially be like showing up. For me, I think this is one of those times where rather than breaking our ankles, if it steers the course, and he actually just goes to Bonnie / Vegapunk, from an emotional standpoint, I feel like that would allow us the opportunity to have that flashback within the arc, where Kuma shows up, Vegapunk is there, Bonnie potentially being there as well, and there's a moment to have not only the flashback but a potential major twist within the arc as well, because we still need every arc has its twist. So I wonder, well, technically it has like 50 million twists. Egghead doesn't really need like one major twist. We've already had like 100 million. But Kuma coming here, I feel like this time, rather than doing the ankle breaking thing, it would make sense to me to do it here. To like just stay here, to just go from where he is to Egghead and allow the story to tell itself after that with those three characters. However, depending on what happened up there in the Marijoa, him going to Sabo or Vivi makes a lot of sense to me. It just makes so much sense to me as well. But personally, from a storytelling standpoint, I would like for Kuma to go to Bonnie or Vegapunk, because I feel like that would give us a lot of answers and a lot of potential greatness for all three characters. Great character defining moments potentially for all three. But once again, if that does not end up happening and instead going to Vivi or Sabo, obviously we all want to know what's happening with Sabo after the Lucci got wiped. And Vivi, we haven't seen Vivi since flipping Bounty poster. Or, I'm sorry, the poster with Instant Messenger Sabo going up the stairs, so we have no idea. And I want to see her so bad, man. I hope so, Subra. I want to see Sabo soon. I'm not sure how soon. It's the final saga, so we could see him very, very soon. But maybe after Elbaf would be a good time for us to see that Sabo, unless the events around the world directly correlate to what's about to happen in Elbaf. If that's the case, then we might see Sabo in post Egghead, right? Oh, that's interesting, Recon. Random, but I had a theory after 1067 with the play on words of Nomi that devil fruits were brains, and each fruit has a will because of the past consciousness. That's also why they taste bad. I love the past consciousness idea. We talked about that after the Gear 5, or not the Gear 5, though, chapter before, 1043, with the Joy Boy thing, about the potential like consciousness being passed into each of the fruits, and now especially seeing about how each of them have a will of their own. I wouldn't be surprised about like them being hearts or them being brains. I think that's interesting. I think that's really, really interesting. So Recon, stay on that theory, man. Yeah, that honestly might end up being like very close to the truth. Oh, DJ, there'll be an afterthoughts this time. I promise that. I promise that. Definitely, Jesus. Yeah, so Subra, the delay is also what makes this very interesting, right? Because Kuma, like I said, because it takes 3 days. And if Luffy and them are leaving right now, he's not going to make it on time. Unless Oda's planning on him going right to Vegapunk. But by then, they're already being in a different place. Oh, that could happen too. They're no longer on Egghead. But he zaps himself over to Vegapunk, and then potentially we could have Kuma at Elbaf. That's also a scenario. That's also a scenario. Dude, this Kuma thing is so interesting, man. I'm on chapter 6 of Cold Steel now. Resource and Crow the Goats. Yo, shout out to those goats, no mayor. Shout out to both of those goats. 3 Billion Berries, man, cover story. Fire. Have you been reading Hachima no Ippo recently? It's been fire, Justin Cook. I haven't read the last few chapters, but it has been fire. The fight that we're currently in. Yo, Miss, you finished the manga before I did. I still haven't finished the manga, man. I'm behind around 10 chapters, and I've been trying to find the opportunity to finally react to it, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Yeah, Pluto, very reminiscent to Zoe. Great short arc, lots of lore. Very reminiscent of Zoe. I know everyone is hyped about Elbaf. Do you think there'll be another big arc on Amazon Lily or Sabaody type arc? I think we're currently on the Sabaody type of arc. I know we'll probably get another like Amazon Lily, like a short one, but Elbaf has been hyped up for so long that I do believe it's going to, at the bare minimum, be a 30 chapter arc. And I'm saying that bare minimum. I think it will end up being potentially like a 50, 60 chapter arc. But that also depends on how Oda wants to structure this saga, right? Because if Elbaf is that long, I'm going to assume the final war is going to have to be like double that, right? So, and I know Oda said that he wants to end it. In his mind, he believes he can end it in 3 to 5 years, even though we know something like 5 to 7 years. So it's like, how does he want to structure it? And that's gonna be based on that. Elbaf, though, a lot of setup for Elbaf has already taken place throughout the course of the series. So it's like once we get there, it's gonna be a lot of payoff. But obviously, we still have to set up new conflict, new characters. So we'll see what happens. But I'm very, very excited. Vegapunk joining the Stride Fires, we'd love to see it. Yo, it's amazing, Noel. If that ends up being the case, right? And even if it's not, I don't care. Like, the fact that Vegapunk's dream was revealed here to be a character that might potentially be joining us as a Kinemon type of character or as an actual like, crewmate, it is super, super dope to me. Recon, I think it's in the present. But I think the difference is like I said earlier, they're both going to get there too late. I honestly do believe that Dragon is going to arrive at Egghead or whatever it is too late. And Kuma, wherever it is he's going, is also going to arrive late too. 3 days. So whether it be Sabo, Vivi, or Egghead, or to Vegapunk, like back to the Master, regardless, arriving mad late. And it could happen at such a random time, too. But what's so interesting to me is, if it's not going to happen during the Egghead arc, why do it now? I'm so interested. All right, I'll read a few more comments, and then we're going to call it for the night. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Definitely DJ. There's no question about that. It's gonna be a very, very long one. But it's the final sagas, or I'm sorry, it's the final arc. So I need I'm gonna enjoy every single one of those chapters, man. Naruto and Sasuke show up in Elbaf, and might as well. They might as well. Yo, Jesus, I'm glad to hear it, man. Bleach has been popping, dude. It has been popping. Yeah, I love Cody. Honestly, I do believe Big Mom's alive. I'm one of those individuals that I don't believe a character is dead until I see him. Like, until I see them, like, legit die before my very eyes. I don't think Big Mom's gone, and I don't think Kaido's gone either, personally. I don't think either of the two are gone. So I think Big Mom will be there at Elbaf. I just don't know what type of role Big Mom will have there at Elbaf. And I don't know if Big Mom's going to, like, what's going to happen to her character there. But I know there's going to be some level of importance with Big Mom's character at Elbaf. I don't know if we'll see her, like, actually there, or if we'll see her again in the final war, but with just connections to Elbaf and the Giants. But if she is at Elbaf, for me, I think she's alive. No question. Man, Recon, I would love something like that. I really would. This Sabari-like situation happens again, but Kuma's late this time. I would actually really love that. Why don't you say that? That sounds super cool. That sounds like such a cool plot point. Facts, yo. The Usopp greatness is gonna go crazy. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, yo. Thank you so much for stopping by. W stream. Nah, definitely. I'm excited, yo. It's a good time, like I said. Crazy situations happening every single week here with Egghead, but this is the exact chapter I needed, man. Considering I was going through withdrawals, and now it's popping. Like, this chapter, stuff was moving. Vegapunk wants to come along. Stussy, very interesting there. Seraphim's on the way. Super excited for that. Sentomaru, that'll be nice seeing him again. Lucci and Luffy meeting up next week. Conflict, regardless of what it is, whether it's physical conflict, verbal conflict, we're going to see something cook there, and that's always exciting between those two, man. Considering it's flipping Lucci, bro. You know? But I'm meeting up Bleach on Mondays, One Piece on Thursdays and Fridays, top of that Trails as well. Yo, too much heat, Namer. Too much heat. Yo, Andres Gonzalez comes in. Yo, GOAT, last minute arrival. Thank you for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. W's all around, yo. Fall asleep on camera, coach. Yo, the day I fall asleep on camera is the day that y'all will see me immediately wake up. Or actually, no. You won't even see me wake up. I think I'm so tired today that y'all might hear me talk in my sleep. And I know nobody wants to hear me talk in my sleep. It's probably going to be something like, Elbaf. You know what I mean? Gear 5th. It's going to be me talking about One Piece, bro. You know what I mean? That's just the way it works. That's always my backup plan. You know, when everything else fails, we can talk about the GOAT. So, I appreciate y'all. Now that DJ says this, we're definitely going to be here for Robin vs. Black Maria for the anime on Saturday. And then I'm not sure whether tomorrow night I have the opportunity or Sunday we'll definitely be here for Hunter x Hunter. And I am not missing another Afterthoughts. I want to try my hardest to get out by Sunday, but like I said, because I'm in the middle of finals,
I don't know if I'll get the afterthoughts out on Sunday or early next week, but I am doing an afterthoughts. There is no question. I'm missing on the last one that killed me, so I'm not missing on another afterthought, especially where we are. And I'm doing an afterthoughts for both 1067 and 1068. Might not be a long one, but I just want to talk about the Iron Giant stuff from 1067. I have a lot of stuff to talk about from 1068, so we will be here for the afterthoughts and for Hunter x Hunter and for the One Piece anime greatness. So I will see y'all for an amazing weekend, and then Bleach on Monday is going to be so goated. I cannot wait, bro. It's going to be peak. Yo, I'm telling you, Sage, y'all think I'm playing, man. I'm being in my sleep calling out to Zangetsu, bro. Literally like Reen Schwarzer. Heed my call. I just like, yo, come to me. Come to me, Tetsu Zangetsu. But I'll see y'all, man. Have a good one. Hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful sleep. World Cup insanity this weekend, man. Let's go. Let's see you guys.